Johannes, we've just been talking here. That was a hot one, but give us your overall impressions. Very good workout against good opposition.
Yeah, against a good opposition. So I think also fair to say for us that it was the best performance so far this preseason. Times in the game where we struggled and have to defend, and also of course not a great start being 2-0 behind after 25 minutes. But we had our chances also in first half and should have scored goals in first half. And I think after 20 minutes we started to play well. We started to find a good structure, a good rhythm in the game, and creating chances. And I think we did that also in second half. Also scoring some great goals and creating a good amount of chances, which is important for us. So fair to say that this is maybe the best so far in pre-season.
And the way you've mapped that game out, almost the reverse of Magdeburg, where you were very good in that period of 17 or 18 minutes before they scored, and then you said on the night, maybe afterwards. Today, it was Hoffenheim who started well, but thereafter you grew into the game.
Yeah, we also have to acknowledge that it's of course an opposition with good quality, and we had to defend, and we struggled a little bit in the beginning. But I think when we actually found the rhythm and also started to be a little bit more calm in our movements and decisions and so on, we got back into the game, which was important for us. I also highlighted in halftime for the boys that even though we were down 2-0, that there was some good moments in it, and we created the amount of chances and situations that we can expect. Of course, some details in it, which there will always be, both defensively and offensively, where we can be stronger and have to be stronger and better. But definitely some highlights.
Talk about goals, talk about creating chances. Did Johnny Rowe just give us a glimpse of what he's all about there with his goal?
Yeah, and I mean he's here every day because we need to get him to work harder and to understand that he simply needs to be more involved in the game and be more on the move, especially without the ball, where he needs to bring more intensity into the game. But what we saw today, what he can do with the ball, and we saw today what he can also on a higher level than what we used to. So there's so much potential in that boy. We just have to release it and get it out there.
So that's interesting. It's not just because he's coming off the back of a season where a lot of goals and a lot of numbers, but you obviously clearly see that, but feel there's a lot more to come from him.
There's a lot more to come, and that's how it will be for a guy in that age. What is obvious for us, clear and obvious, is that the potential is there. The high quality is there. We just need to make sure that he can produce that every game we play, and he can show that every game we play. So the season for him should not be a season where it's up and down, which is fair sometimes for young players, but now it's the next step with him. So a high performance level almost every game. That I think it's fair to expect that.
First sights really of Angus and Josh Sargent today. Two very big players within this group. You must be delighted to get them in, get them on the pitch.
Yeah. Angus is a good goalkeeper, calm, good in his feet play. Josh, obvious, especially with his back turned to the goal, where he can protect it, he can hold it, and he's still so good in moving and running on the outside of defenders and creating space for himself and his teammates. So good to have him back, and just looking forward to have him in the group now.
You clearly have done a lot of research on those guys, but on Sargent, we know he's had this ankle-related issue, probably going back to the World Cup, he said, in the summer. Didn't get a lot of minutes in the Copa America. Is that side of, because there's no doubt when he's on the pitch he will contribute, but is that something you just have to manage, the physical body side of it?
Yeah, and I think the overall and the most important thing to do is to get a body used to be, used every weekend. That's how you start working with that. So you can see these players that are robust. They play every Saturday 90 minutes because their body is used to it. So we have to get him up to that, of course. But it will take some time. But he's a great player, and he will deliver the minutes that he will get. But I'm just happy that he's here, and also for the group and for the environment. He's such a good character.
Just want to ask you about one player at the other end of the age spectrum, Gab Forsyth, because you seem to be using him an awful lot. 17 years of age. What have you seen there? What do you like from that player?
There's a big potential, and I think it's important for us to give a guy like that some minutes, also some minutes on highest level. I think, and I hope it's obvious for everyone watching him that there's a great potential. We have to be careful with him, of course, still to protect him a little bit because it's new to him, this, and being with the first team and environment with high quality games and so on. So we have to protect him a little bit, but also give him the trust and give him the minutes. And I think that pass he made for L here 5 minutes to go, or what it was, is outstanding. So so much potential, but still protect him a little bit, get him used to how it is to play senior football on a consistent basis, and that's what I will say the next 6 months for him will be about.
Just ask you about a few lads not involved tonight. No Cordoba, no Fisher. What can you tell us on those two?
Fisher had something with his, what do you call it, throat?
Tonsillitis.
Call it what you want. it was
throat, yeah.
Woke up this morning and I was not ready to play. And Cordoba it was a little tight after some of the sessions, so we actually planned with him in the starting lineup today, but could see this morning that it would not be the right decision to do. So again, no risk with him, and hopefully he can play on Saturday.
No Longy tonight either. What can you say then?
Yeah, hopefully better. He had some knee pain after the game against Magdeburg, and of course, when you feel some pain there, you can be a little bit nervous or sometimes, but it seems okay, and I think he will be back on the training pitch on Thursday again.
And no Adam either. I mean, he's here, he's watching as we're speaking. He's over there doing a training exercise. Any explanation why he's not involved tonight?
He reported late for the flight Sunday morning for reasons where it should never happen. So I spoke to him the other night, and of course we told him that he just had to come to Austria as fast as possible. He came during the night, and I spoke to him and said, of course, we as a group of players and protecting an environment, this can never happen, and of course you cannot be a part of the game squad going into this game here. He was sad about the situation and apologized and so on. So I think we will get him back into the group, but it's also important message for us to send that there will be consequences when you don't do your stuff properly.
When you say consequences, are we talking, is it like an internal disciplinary situation there with him?
Yeah, we will handle that internally, definitely.
Is that disappointing to you? Because you've talked about, I think I asked you in one of the previous games, you've had a lot of chats with him, you love him, he's a great guy, you said you really get on well with him, and do you feel a bit let down by that sort of action?
Not really. I would say being a football coach sometimes is a little bit like being a parent. So you just have to forgive, and you have to accept that there will be mistakes once in a while. And we don't want to create an environment where you cannot make mistakes. But it's important for us to also make very, very clear for all the players that if you do something that is not how we want it to be, then there will be consequences. And we handle that internally, and then we find a good solution, and hopefully he'll be back again.
Just one more on this. Do you think the whole speculation, the Celtic thing, is that playing on his mind a little bit?
Of course, it would be fair to say, and it's a young boy, and this is maybe the first time in his career where he tries it. There's so much attention on him, and so many media stories and so on, and I can completely understand that can be difficult for a football player to handle. So it will take some more conversations with him, and we will of course integrate him, and everyone will be there to support him. But it's also important for us to make it very, very clear that we have our rules internally, and if you step out of that and do something that is not aligned with that, then you, of course you cannot play with the rest of the group. But we will do everything we can. He's a good boy, and I don't think it was on purpose. It was just too much going on.
Moving on, very positive news earlier in the day. Ben Krizeni, you said that you were close on Friday, and now it's over the line. What do you like about him?
He's a good technical player. He is used to, and I will say, thriving on teams where he can be involved, having the ball a lot. Can be a good part of the build-up game, but also offensively with his technique and his off-the-ball movement. So it was a target where we really tried. Went through a lot of conversations with him as well, because obviously it's a difficult decision to take, traveling to another part of the country, to a new club, new environment. But fortunately, he's here.
And the length of contract underlines, that yourself and Ben and Neil, you've seen something in that player that you feel you can develop him and he can go on.
Yeah, he was on top of our list. So we also wanted to send a clear signal to him that it's for now, but it's also for the future. And then hopefully he can bring this club and this team up to the next level, and then hopefully he can also take the step to the next level in the future. That's the plan with him, and I think definitely he got the potential, but he's also a performance player for now.
A couple more if I can. One in now, left-sided. Would you still like maybe to do another one before the start of the season? Left-sided defender.
Yeah, I think that could make sense for us, so we can cover that left back position with a guy more. and also that left centre back position maybe with a guy more. So yeah, it's fair to say. I think we're in the market and see what happens. And of course, things can happen before start of September.
Yeah, final one. Obviously, that's the end of. I know you're still here for another couple of days in Austria.
Yeah.
But another good step for you, do you feel, along the road to what it really counts, which is Oxford in the opening game of the season?
Yeah, I think it was clear and obvious that in the good moments of the game today we played well, and we created good chances. I think we looked as a solid football team that could really take the control in the game, and then of course also respect that there will be moments also against the good side where we have to defend, and I think we were okay doing that, still with details to be highlighted for the players where we need to be stronger. Giving the ball away in a critical manner on the first goal, where we actually are close to breaking through ourselves, and then we lose the ball and concede a goal, which should never happen. So details, of course, for us to highlight for the players, but overall a good performance.
Cheers.